Speaking directly to the American people, President Biden insisting U.S. taxpayers will not be on the hook for the collapse of two regional financial institutions, Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank.
No losses will be borne by the taxpayers. Instead, the money will come from the fees that banks pay into the Deposit Insurance Fund.
The president saying he believes the Trump administration's rollback of Obama-era requirements on smaller banks, which was approved by Congress, contributed in part to the failure of Silicon Valley Bank, the second largest bank failure in U.S. history. Biden announcing his plan to avoid this happening in the future.
I'm going to ask Congress and the banking regulators to strengthen the rules for banks to make it less likely this kind of bank failure would happen again.
The Federal Reserve, the U.S. Treasury, and the FDIC acting overnight to guarantee Silicon Valley Bank depositors have full access to their money. But SVB shareholders will not be shielded.
You can't be the only one who wants to get their cash out of here.
New York Governor Kathy Hochul reassuring customers after the state seized control of Signature Bank, which suffered a similar fate to Silicon Valley.
We want to make sure that there's not a ripple effect, because if people getting anxious start withdrawing, then that creates instability.
The crisis began when Silicon Valley Bank depositors began pulling out funds en masse after SVB announced plans to sell assets to shore up recent losses. The Federal Reserve's efforts to cool inflation through aggressive interest rate hikes, sinking the value of some of SVB's core investments.
Bank failures happening largely because interest rates are moving higher, that the Fed will not want to get that aggressive going forward. We could actually see the Fed start cutting interest rates.
And top economists predict annual inflation will fall to 6% from 6.4% back in January, ahead of the release of the Consumer Price Index due out tomorrow. That report measures the price changes Americans pay for goods and services. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.